Once again, a major drama unfolded at the Red Bull Ring, a circuit that was previously considered difficult terrain for Marc Márquez. However, it became the stage for the making of new history. The king of MotoGP broke his long curse in Austria in the most spectacular fashion, securing a double victory in both the sprint and main races. This brilliant result amazed the public and forced the Ducati boss to acknowledge Marquez's greatness with a poignant comment. "I think Marc has truly forgotten how to lose now." Could this be the start of Marquez's era of absolute dominance with Ducati? Let's discuss it. The Red Bull Ring has been a nightmare for Marquez for years. The track's numerous right-hand corners often caused him difficulty when he was riding for Honda. However, the 2025 season changed everything. Riding the Ducati GP25, Marquez performed like a hungry predator. In the sprint race, he started in 4th place after a qualifying fall. This situation actually fueled the 8-time world champion. From the moment the starting lights went out, his racing instincts kicked in. He overtook his rivals one by one and ultimately finished the race with a sensational victory. Crossing the finish line ahead of his younger brother, Alex Marquez, it wasn't just any victory. It was a powerful statement. The Red Bull Ring was no longer a cursed circuit, but King Marquez's new domain. If the sprint race was dramatic, the main race was an even bigger proving ground for Marquez. Starting from 4th position again, Marquez didn't panic or become overly aggressive. Instead, he calmly established a rhythm, maintaining a steady pace while reading the situation ahead. He passed each of his rivals with clean, calculated maneuvers and incredible precision. The full race at the Red Bull Ring, which demands everything from physical endurance and precise tire management to strategic ingenuity, exhibited Marquez's maturity and superiority. Each time he navigated a sharp turn, a weakness of his in the past, he seemed to dispel all doubts with his perfect control of the Ducati GP25. He completely tamed the powerful motorcycle with his signature determined style. When he finally crossed the finish line, victorious, the stands erupted and thousands of spectators rose to their feet in tribute. This was Marquez's first victory in Austria, victory that was not only sweet but also meaningful. After years of failure at the Red Bull Ring, he had finally conquered the circuit that had once seemed to be his curse. It was proof that the king of MotoGP had truly been reborn. What made this moment even more special was the Ducati boss's admiring comment. With a tone of both pride and surprise, he emphasized the champion's extraordinary performance. The Red Bull Ring is known as one of the most difficult circuits for Marc. But today, he proved everyone wrong. He won convincingly, leaving no room for his rivals. "I think Marc has truly forgotten how to lose." This comment wasn't just empty praise. It was an admission from a Ducati executive that Marquez is almost untouchable. No matter what position he starts from or how challenging the track is, Marquez always finds a way to turn things around. Every time the checkered flag flies, the name at the front seems predictable: Marc Márquez. Marc Márquez's victory in Austria further underscored his brutal dominance this season. He has won 12 of the 13 sprint races held so far this season, nearly impossible statistic to achieve in the highly competitive modern MotoGP era. Along with his victory in the main race, Marquez's lead in the standings is now even more unattainable, putting more pressure on his rivals. He currently holds a 123-point lead over his younger brother, Alex Marquez, who sits in 2nd place. Meanwhile, Francesco Bagnaia, the 2-time defending champion, trails him by 180 points, a scenario that many observers never imagined at the start of the season. With so many races remaining, many analysts believe that the 2025 World Championship title will almost certainly go to Marquez, possibly even before the end of the season. Ducati legend and 2-time world champion Casey Stoner has even spoken, outcalling Marquez's performance this year one of the most extraordinary in modern MotoGP history. "He's truly returned to his best, perhaps even stronger than before," Stoner said, emphasizing that Marquez's resurgence with Ducati has changed the competitive landscape in the premier class. Marquez's dominance has impacted not only the standings, but also the morale of his rivals. Francesco Bagnaia, known as the ruler of the Red Bull Ring for his powerful performances in Austria over the past 3 years, has had to swallow a bitter pill this time around. His title as King of the Red Bull Ring was shattered after he was soundly defeated by his teammate, Marc Márquez, who performed flawlessly from start to finish. Bagnaia frankly admitted to losing confidence in one of his strongest skills, braking. Hard braking and precision in corners have always been his strong suit, leading him to the World Championship title for the past 2 seasons. Now, however, it has become a weakness, while Marquez has made it his main strength, dominating the race. This was a severe blow for Bagnaia, who usually appears so confident when entering the braking zone. "I feel like I've lost that sensation. The bike doesn't feel like the one I used to control," said Bagnaia bitterly. His words suggest that his mental state has collapsed, along with his performance on the track. This admission shows that Marquez's dominance is disrupting not only his rivals' technical calculations, but also their inner confidence. For a reigning champion, losing his ultimate weapon on the track is a warning sign and reflects how much Marquez has loomed over his opponents this season. Meanwhile, Pedro Acosta, the rising star, secured a 3rd-place podium. While his performance was commendable, he couldn't take his gaze away from Marquez, who had reasserted himself as Ducati's new king. Acosta openly expressed his admiration, but also hinted at the mysterious nature of his senior's performance. "Sometimes it looks like pure genius, but at other times, I wonder if it's because the bike is so perfect." Despite his admiration, he hinted that he also harbored curiosity and a hint of doubt about Marquez's utter dominance. For Marquez, victory in Austria wasn't just about adding points to the world standings. It was an emotional victory, an achievement that felt far deeper than a 1st-place podium. After enduring years of doubt due to a long-term injury that nearly ended his career and a dark and frustrating period with Honda, he now stands tall on his Ducati with the aura of a true champion. "I always lose here. Now I finally win on that red bike," Marquez said with a wide smile. That smile holds 1,000 stories. That smile isn't just for a winner. It was the smile of a legend who had fallen and stumbled, but risen stronger than ever. It's the smile of a warrior who overcame pain and crushed doubts to write a new chapter in MotoGP history. This victory proved that Marquez was never truly gone. He was simply waiting for the right time to be reborn. After the weekend in Austria, one major conclusion was clear. A shift in power had already occurred at Ducati and in MotoGP as a whole. The Red Bull Ring, once considered Francesco Bagnaia's stronghold, had fallen into Marc Márquez's hands. The curse that had once seemed to haunt the baby alien at the Austrian track had transformed into a stage for glory. This victory changed the statistics and the power structure within the paddock. In this era, Marc Márquez seems to have forgotten what it feels like to lose. With this result at Austria 2025, is the MotoGP World Championship title almost certain to fall to Marc Márquez? Share your thoughts below.